here we are at I Love Mahj, and tonight is all about skill building. My name is Debbie Barnett. If you're new here tonight, just joining in for the first time, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. I am on the road for the next couple of months, but it is a working vacation. I do have to say that it's been a little bit more of a vacation than work. Don't tell anybody. But anyway, no, I am still working quite a bit during our travel. So the background that you see is not the normal background I use when I'm in my professional office setting with my green screen. So if I fade in and out until I get sharing the screen, you'll know why, because I think that happens if I move, right? Kind of does weird things. But here I am at I Love Mahj, and this is where we play on Wednesday nights against the bots. If you have not experienced I Love Mahj, check it out. It's a wonderful platform. You can belong to more than one gaming platform. I'm telling you, it is the least expensive gift you could ever give yourself. What I love about this site is the exercise room, great way to learn the card, build your strength during the Charleston, recognize what other hands are made, play Mahjong, which has you guessing what hand is being played. It's like the Wordle for Mahjong. And also Heavenly Hands, where a full hand is dealt in, where if you're lucky enough to, after the Charleston, if you're East, to have Mahjong, you have to figure out, put the tiles in the right order and figure out what's being played. So it is a really nice platform, not to mention the play with the bots and being able to schedule games with friends or create a personal table, or play with friends online. So it's got a lot to offer, and I would say it is the most true to playing an in-person game as can be. I think the only one thing that is not like in person is the tiles are not scattered on the table. And although that sounds like it would be a good idea, sometimes when you're working, if you're not working in, I think, 3D or whatever, it may be a little challenging to see the tiles depending on where they're sitting on the table. So the way they're set up is fine. You have an advantage with them being set up while you're online. That's good. Have fun with it as long as you can increase your knowledge and your ability to play. I'm going to go ahead and click on Play with Bots. As a newer player, you might want to just use just for fun. They have great tutorials in here on how to use the site. I have some on my YouTube channel as well. So if you need any instructional help, you can definitely find it. You can also email me or message me through YouTube. Any way you want to reach me. Facebook, I'm all over the place, so I cannot hide. I also like to play the intermediate level bot. So there's beginner, intermediate, and advanced. As a newer player, feel free to try level 1. Level 1 bots make level 1 moves. So there are things that a more advanced player might not do, but it will give you the ability to Mahjong a bit more. And that's what it's all about in the beginning, because we want you to be encouraged and all that. So let's go ahead and start by launching the game here. And I will say no to this, because if somebody is online and they ask me to play with them, we'll get bumped out of the table that we're playing at. You could change your level here if you decide you want to go back to level 1 or you want to get up it to level 2. You can change it right here. They have different themes and colors. Sometimes I'll go in and just change it and see what's nice. That's kind of pretty. I think I'll do that. You could also change the type of tiles. They have an affiliation with the Mahjong line. So they do have all of the Mahjong line tile, not all of them, but many of the tiles. They're very pretty, but they don't look like standard tiles, so it takes getting used to. But you can go in, play. This is a really good place to learn how to play with them. And there's also classic tiles and large print tiles. And if you are sight impaired in any way, these large tiles are fabulous. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. Make sure you have the 2024 card picked. I've messed that up. I Love Mahj has their own card too. So if you want to just really challenge yourself and get to feel like you really understand the game, try their card out. All right, timer. Keeping it off for this game for tonight's skill building, but this is how long it takes you to make a decision when somebody has discarded as to whether you need to call it or not. Very good to practice. There's still a pause button, so you don't have to worry about it. If you have 10 seconds picked and you're getting close to 10, hit the pause button. But this helps you develop your skills as well. All right, so here we go. And let's see what tonight's going to be like, Phyllis. Is it going to be a joker night? Is it going to be a winning night? Well, let's see. Oh, I started with 3 jokers. Well, what do you know? Look at that. Love it. All right, well, when I start with 3 jokers, I certainly like to keep my eye on the quints and start with my eye on the quints, matter of fact. So let's see what we could put together here that might be fun. Of course, line 1 is the run, and that's probably the harder of the hands to make there. Well, not necessarily, but I think the first hand and the fourth hand personally are a bit easier to make. But anyway, let's look at the first hand. I don't have any flowers to start with. It's a pair of flowers. That does make it a bit more challenging. The second hand would be any numbers that are not alike, that are not the same suit and not alike. So it could be 8 and 7, 8 and 5, 8 and 2, 8 used with the 7, 5, or 2. A note, it has to be 2 suits, so it can't be 8, 5, and 2. So it could be 7, 8 rather, and then 8, 9, 7, 9. I mean, a bunch of combinations. So if I wanted to play that second hand, which has 864 iterations, it's ridiculously crazy. I would want to keep everything here since the Kong in the middle of those quints are a wind, but I have to pass 3, so I can't do that. But let's do this. Let's figure out what else we're going to play, and then we'll work the quint into it. How's that? That will make it a lot easier for us. I like to start with my multiples, but I don't have any multiples other than 3 jokers, which I'm grateful for. But I'm going to go ahead and try to put stuff together that makes sense with these tiles, and then keep an eye on the quints, okay? So first I see that we do have some like numbers with 8, and I do have a 2, which would be the evens. Not a lot right there, certainly doesn't make me feel all bubbly, but I don't also see anything in addition hands with 3 suits right now. 20, 24, all I have right now is a 2 and a soap. That's not real strong either at this point. What about consecutive run? When you look at consecutive run, it is the most flexible section on the card, 100%. But you got to make sure when you collect those consecutive numbers, you collect all the different suits. Don't just pick one suit. And I'll give you an example. I often see this when I'm teaching, even though I teach this consecutive run challenge, which sometimes I call it the beginner's death trap, because it really could be. I'll come over and I'll say, so what do you see here? And they're like, oh, well, I see this. And I'm like, okay, and what section is that? Oh, consecutive run. Well, gee, it's really pretty because all the suits match. But in actuality, you've got either 5 through 8, first line on the top, or you've got 2 and 5 and limiting yourself to line 3, maybe line 5, and maybe line 7. If I got that right. Yeah. So if you take your consecutive numbers and keep everything within as many as you can keep before and after the numbers. Like right now I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You could keep as many as you can as long as you have tiles to pass. Then you have the ability to play a lot more in that, in those numbers and in that section. Because if you look, you see so many hands with multiple colors, and multiple colors means multiple suits. Now, with that said, I also have an East and a West. And with the East and the West, and by the way, the 5, 7, 9, I do have stuff in there. 5, 7, 9, they're there already because they're being kept for the run. So that's a good thing, but I can keep an eye on that if I want. But with the East and West, I can keep my eye on the third line under Winds and Dragons on the right side. Since I already have an East and a West, I could keep those. That also gives me the ability to keep an eye on the second line under Quince. And if I wanted to, I could keep maybe one of these and see if there's a possibility. Well, that last quint hand, because of the quint of flowers, I would not be bubbly about right now, but we'll see. I mean, it could be because I'm keeping track of consecutive run. I could keep an eye on line 1 of quints, line 2, and even line 3 could be a possibility. So I'm pretty happy with all of this right here for right now to see what happens. I've got so much flexibility. I am not picking a hand right now. I'm not picking one category. I'm just saying I got a lot of good stuff here, and lots can happen because I know I've got a little bit of like numbers, a little bit of consecutive run, a little bit of 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. I just don't know what's going to happen. A little bit of Winds and Dragons, and maybe making a quint. Who knows? It's a possibility. So I'm going to go ahead and do this for my first pass and see what happens here. So I did get another Weston. Okay, so if I wanted to think of line 2 in consecutive run, maybe I would take the 5 out and keep my 7, 8, 9s in here. The 5 maybe because it's disconnected right now from the run, and the 5, 7, 9 didn't get any stronger just now. Maybe I will now get rid of that. I try not to pass the soaps, but I'm not as strict about it as usual. I don't know if my philosophy on that really has to do with the fact that the singles and pairs, there's only 2 there, so I don't know. Maybe I should be thinking the opposite, but I'm not as concerned if you have to pass a soap, but because it does have a dual role, it is a good idea to not pass it if you can. So just you try to do your best. As everybody knows that's been here every week, I do not like to pass pairs, no pairs. I don't like to pass flowers during the Charleston. Those are the biggies for me. All right, so I got in a 7, and I got a 5 in, and a 1 in. All right, well, let's see. Of course, you know, I could keep any of these with that second quint, but I can't keep every single number combination. And I still like the fact that I have some run here with 7, 8, 9. If I do this second line, the third line, sorry, under Winds and Dragons, that's the run as well with 2 numbers. And so I could be whatever 2 numbers I'm looking at for that could be my 2 numbers for the second hand in quints. Because again, any 2 non-matching numbers, as long as they are 2 suits. So that's great. It can't be an 8 and a 9. All right. So now that I've got that in, you know, I have a first left. I could not pass the soap right now, but honestly, I think that I want to pass it so I can maximize what I get in. And if somebody's playing with them, well, that's great. I've just given them a tile. Now I have a 6 and 6, 7, 8, lots of different things here, but I'm not going to be able to keep everything here if I'm going to start doing something. I was hoping I would get a double, a pair of something, but I did not get a pair of anything. So, okay, so Holly said, it says Holly Book, but I'm not sure if that's your first name. I'm sorry. Why didn't I keep news, go with news and like numbers? I could go with news and like numbers, but I only had 2 like numbers right now. And I think that my options with the consecutive run and keeping an eye on a quint is a little stronger. But remember one thing, we're never going to see all of the same hands. I'm going to see the ones that I think are going to give me the most flexibility. Do I miss something? Yeah. So that's why I watch my chat, and you know, I'm open to hear what you guys have to say. But I only had 2 like numbers at this point. So, and that requires a pair of flowers as well. Not that we're not going to get it, but anyway, so we'll see what happens here. So let's continue on. We're going to continue. So this is going to be a little tricky. So I know I can do these 2, and now I have to decide which one of these I want to get rid of. So let's see, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 7, 8. So I have a big combination of everything here. So let me put together a mixed suit run. And 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, or a 2 suit run. 6, 7, 8, 9. So let me move those down just for a second. And I can keep one of these. No, I can't. See, I can't keep everything if I'm going to go with East and West, which is pretty strong right now. And one of the reasons I like that hand is because the East and West are pungs, and pungs are easier to make than that. So I could keep an 8, another tile here. Maybe it would be 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll keep the 7. And that way I have a good combination. I don't know what's going to come in and what's not going to come in right now. That's the challenge. It's just hit or miss. If I get a double or something, I'll be very happy just getting a double of anything right now. Or maybe I'll do this. Let's see, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 9. Yeah, I still have a lot of flexibility, but I think I have more flexibility with this. So I don't know. It's all a big guess. All right. Again, I've gotten something in the run family, but no duplicates of anything. So that's a bit challenging. I don't think I would break up my east and west at this point and everything else to even switch back to the any like numbers line 3. Ooh, I'm just going to keep praying I get something in. If not, oh, yeah, look at this. Nope. You know, I mean, I could switch out to other things now, but I'm going to stay my course and hope that things play out okay. And I got that 8. Oh, my goodness. All right. And I do have news. So I do have the news. I can certainly keep track of any like numbers and see what happens. Everybody knows this game changes as quickly as you can blink an eye. And if I want to keep that and maybe even keep this, I can just say no tiles. And I would say the only thing I got in that helped me if I gotta go with an east and west or even line 2 of quints is 1 tile. I got 1 tile. This is not the best Charleston move. So when you play in the exercise room, you can actually play the same tiles over and make totally different decisions. So I could have done that if I was in the practice room and maybe kept, you know, forgotten about the other stuff and concentrated on like numbers to see if things changed. But I didn't get double of anything throughout the entire Charleston. So I think I'm going to say no for right now. At this point, I could even be looking at a win line 1 wins hand if things don't go my way and I start getting more wins. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to say no. And we'll just see what happens during this game. Now I have to get rid of something. So I want to keep my like numbers in case. I could do this, and then I have 7, 8, 7, 8, 8, 9. I have a lot of little runs there and still gives me flexibility for the quint hand. So I think I'll get rid of the 6. Crazy. Yeah. I mean, I would, wow. All right. Let's see what happens. A flower, 2 flowers out the door. There goes another 6. I like to get fresh tiles out, but since I want to keep everything here, I'm going to have to repeat. 3 flowers out the door. All right, so there goes a north and south. And, you know, this is changing quite a bit now that I got another wind in. So I'm going to keep a couple of these runs again and just ditch one of them because I can't keep everything, obviously. So let me just see if there's anyone in particular that I would keep over another. Not really. Nope. I certainly have flexibility still. I still can, I mean, the quint hand, because I have so many wins, probably not. But I've got now my wins category pretty much right there. And I still have like numbers if I did get any flowers. Of course, we got 3 out the door already. Okay, I don't need that. Okay, so there's 1 7 crack right there. And at this point, if I committed to line 3 with east and west or north and south, I'd have to put up to the jokers right now, and I don't want to do that. It's early, so I'm going to have to hold off and just pull the reins in, because I know it would be nice to do it, but I just can't do it. I don't need that. So we have a pung of 4 cracks up there. And I have another joker. You know, it's so interesting because sometimes you think, oh, I get a lot of jokers, easy to do a quint hand, right? Well, then you get in all these wins, and there's only a Kong of 1 wind there. So I guess it's not going to be in the cards. So now I have to dump another tile, because if I go for line 1 in the Winds and Dragons, I can call everything that's there. So I'm set pretty nicely. Did I expect to be playing line 1 of Winds and Dragons? No. But that's what flexibility is all about. And that's what tonight is all about. I want you guys to see all of the things you could do by staying open and flexible. So I'm just going to dump my 8. You know, I mean, it's what else? I could do any of them, actually, because it looks like I have my direction. Okay, and since there was a 1 dot out, I think I will do the 7 crack, well, the 7 cracks out. I'm just going to be dumping all these babies anyway. Hopefully I don't have a competitor with the wins. I have a lot of them, so hopefully not. Like I said, I like to get my fresh tiles out early when people aren't set up in their hands. And now we have a 7 bam, and let's see, no out. So that's good reason to get that out too. And that's the reason you get it out. Now you might be thinking, well, wait a minute. Why is that a good reason? Somebody needed it and called it. Because I'd rather them call it now than me holding on to somebody's tile until later and then they call it for Mahjong. That's the reason you get it out early. So. Okay, and I don't think there's 2 dots out, so I'll get that out. All right, so there's a north. I'm going to call it. Why not? I can. Yes, Winds and Dragons, very revealing. But if nobody wants to discard my tiles, which they should do early, and they want to keep my tiles and be a tile collector, as I call it, then they're not going to be able to make Mahjong. So be it, I say. All right, let's go here. And all right, we have a punk. So Joe is playing 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. And I don't think it could be anything else there. So 5 cracks and 6 bams. Not that I won't discard it, because I want to make Mahjong. Not at least now I won't. I will. Ignore. All right, so now we have an east. And I really am in a good, strong position. Yeah, I would have liked to play quints, but it wasn't in the picture. And I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. So. Okay. All right, so now we have either 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 crack, 3, 4 dot, or 2, 3 crack. Nope, can't be. It's got to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right, and we will call that. I always check my card to make sure I'm calling the right configuration. So this will be a tongue. And now, if somebody doesn't beat me to it, I can Mahjong on an East, a South, a Joker, or a Joker exchange. 4 ways. I bet everybody's going to hold my last tile now. Even though we're at 50 tiles, we're in the middle, like, of the game, like in the middle. So we've already gone through the begin game, which is the first 33 tiles. We're now in the second 33 tiles. I can bet you somebody's going to be holding my wind. Let's see if they give it up. Oh, look at that. Look at that. You don't have to put it in order, but if you feel more comfortable doing it, because the computer will do it for you. And there we have our Mahjong. And we are not going to be, like I said, picky about our Mahjongs, right, Phyllis? Take them any way that you can. Yeah. Yep. All right. Yeah. And the YouTube viewers were agreeing with the wins, and that did work out. So, boy, with all those jokers, wouldn't I love that every single hand? All right. Now, let's see. Wes was playing any like numbers, says it right here, line 1, flower, and the 6s, and far from it. And look who had my South, Joe. See that? He should have gotten rid of that if I don't know when he got it in, but he should have dumped that early. So Joe was playing line 7 of consecutive run, and that would have been 2 suits, right side of line 7, 4, 5, crack, 6, 7, bam, far from Mahjong, because I had all their jokers. You always take mine, guys. So, and then Agata was playing consecutive run line 7, which also was the 2 suit, 1, 2, 3, 4 dot, 1, 2 crack, 3, 4 dots. All right, well, let's do it again. Thought I turned my phone off, but it looks like I hear it going off. All right. Okay, I have 1 joker, and I'm very happy to see at least one joker. And I have 3 flowers. So I am really going to concentrate on working a hand with flowers if I can. And the first thing that comes to mind, because I have a soap and I don't have any other multiples, is 2024. And there are my 2024 tiles neatly placed together. But do I want to stop there and not look at anything else? No, of course not. That's what being flexible is. So what else can I play here? Now I will look at like numbers, because I do have the 3 flowers, and I do have 2 1s. So maybe I'll keep an eye on that with the 2 2s and the 2 1s, but let's see what else we have here that I can work with. So 2024 and then 2468 spills right into that category nicely because of all of the even numbers in 2024. But I'm not going to be able to keep everything if I want to keep the 6. And the only hand under 2468 is the multiplication hand. So is there anything there that makes sense? I do have the 24, the sum for the left side of line 4, and I do have the 6. So I'm missing a 4 bam for that. But I think I'd like to keep my eye on that. Why not? Okay. Maybe I'll even keep my eye on, let's see, 2, 3, 4. No, I was thinking of the consecutive run with the quint, but I'd have to get rid of a bunch of other stuff, and it really wouldn't make too much sense. But I do like the idea of maybe Well, I don't know. I think I could keep all this right now and I'd be a happy girl and maybe do this. I think I'm happy with that. Of course, I didn't get anything else in. Okay, I didn't have a very good Charleston last time, did I? But I certainly did win. Well, I'm going to go with this right now and still keep my eye on 2024. Oh, another red out there. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, so nothing's happening right now, but I'm gonna get, I know there's a red out there, but unless I want to keep it, and I don't really want to keep it, I'm gonna have to get rid of it. It could end up in somebody's, two of them could end up in somebody's hand. Oh, finally, I have a 2. So my 2024 is building a little bit nicer. Let's see, I have my 2-4, which is good for line 2. And for line 3 with the 2 flowers, I have a 2024. I don't have a 2024 yet, but that's okay. We'll see. It's going to be something, either maybe that or the addition hand. So I'm going to continue. And I also have this. So let's see what I want to get rid of here. I know I can get rid of this and this. All right, so 4. Yeah, I can't, unfortunately, if I keep the 2-4, which is probably the most important part of that hand, I still need a 4 bam. So I would get rid of the 6. No, sorry. I pulled the wrong one over. 4 bam times 6 equals 24. So it would be the 6 I would get rid of. All right. Whew. Let's see what happens. Oh my goodness. So either everybody's playing my numbers, nobody's playing odds, or I don't know what's going on here. I'm staying steady though. All right, I got a 4. All right, 4 times 6 equals 24. That's a whole hand, line 4 of 2, 4, 6, 8. You know, when you start getting to this point where you're having a hard time with what you're going to pass, you do have to get focused in more on potential hands. I still can keep an eye on 2024 for sure. And now we're on the last right. So I can breathe and know that I can keep everything I have here to stay flexible and open and pass just these 2. Now, let's hope I get one more tile in. I got the 8 in, but that would be the only thing I could even think of for that right now is 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, probably. I mean, I could do 6 times 8 equals 48, but I don't have the other 8. So I don't know if I should even bother keeping that 8. The only hand I'm thinking of that it would work in would be line number 5 of 2, 4, 6, 8. I think I have enough going on here. I want to see if I get one more tile in. You never know. And I got a 4 in. Now, I just want to stop for 1 minute just to make a point here. I know that some of you guys that watch, or newer players, or sometimes you play in a group and you have a table rule about stopping the Charleston, or you don't play the Charleston at all. I've had this go on, or I've heard this for many years already. And I just want to mention this now because what did I just get in the optional across? I got another tile in. I didn't get a lot of tiles in, but I got these 4s in during the Charleston. So if I didn't play a Charleston, which is to me the most important part of building your hand, or my group said, we just are going to play the first 3 passes, which is the first Charleston. We don't play a second. Or you say, I stop the Charleston every single time just because I'm so confused. No, you need to learn the card, get stronger at learning the card and being open and flexible, and don't give up looking at 12 potential tiles in that second Charleston. So really, it is so important. Okay, so now I have a call here, and I would have to commit to something right now and call this. I'm not even going to think about it at this point. Number one, I'd have to give up those 4 flowers to call that soap for the 2024 first line. And that is not happening for me, and giving up my only joker. So ignore. And ignore. And I do have a ton. You know, Carol mentioned earlier when we were talking about the 2024, I didn't have the whole 20. Oh, I still don't have a whole 2024, but I have so many options with the lines in there right now that I just have to wait to see what I get in. I do like to throw my wins early on, even if I'm doubling up on discarding them and they're not the freshest, because people play that third line so often, and a lot of times the same 2 players will be playing that third line with East and West, or with North and South, like both. It's crazy. So I do like to get them out early. Another 4. So that's nice. So 4 times 6 equals 24. Now I can call the flower. I can call the 4 BM. We're talking about line 4, 2, 4, 6, 8. And I'm all set with my single 2 and 4. And I need 1 more good pick to call the 6 crack. So this is real. This is a night. This is probably gonna be the hand, unless something drastically changes. And I'm just gonna keep looking and see. Again, no commitment at this point to anything other than what I could see that's really strong. All right, I'm not keeping that because I didn't decide I wasn't going to be doing that 2, 4, 6, 8 thing anyway. So nothing else that I can see that makes it look any appealing to me. And with 1 joker, it's at least I could call on 2 of the Kongs right now, which is nice. Here's another 8. All right, so there's 1 6 crack. I know I need at least 1 more joker. And there's a soap. Here we have to reassess again. Reassess, right? And if I were to look at line 2, I would need to fill in 2 more good picks. I don't have a multiple of a 2. So whether I used a 2 BAM or a 2 crack with my soaps and my 2 4 for my singles, it's a weaker hand. it's a weaker hand. Okay, so that doesn't even make sense there. But let's look at line 1 with the soaps. If let's just say with either the 2 BMs, it would have to be with the 4s. It wouldn't be the 2 BM. It would be the 2 crack. It's got to be 2 suits, 2s and 4s. Okay. Weaker here as well, because I would need a tile here to cover to call this and one more to call this. And I wouldn't need any of the flowers. So I really am not in a great situation right now to give up on my 4 times 6 equals 24. I just gotta hope I get one more joker. Couple of more somethings to make me feel happy with that hand. Now, as a backup, let's see if I keep the line number 2. I have my 2, 4. I wouldn't need the 4s. How about, what about line number 3? A pair of flowers with 4s. And that would mean I would need 2, 0, 2, 4 and cracks. Geez, it's not in the star. Well, actually, let's look at, yeah, I did look at 4s. Yeah, it's not that hand neither. That's not good either. I mean, nope. I got to give up on it. If I'm going to keep this hand, which is really pretty, I got to give up on it and not stay here any longer. So we're doing it. We got to commit to it. Okay. So what I have to do is start looking at getting rid of, like, for instance, no 2 cracks have gone out. That's a good sign that somebody could be playing them, and especially since there weren't a lot of evens going around during the Charleston. Oh, another 6 crack. All right, there's still hope. There's still hope. Oh, now I get another 4. And that would be this one I'd have to keep for line number 2, 0. Line number 3. This is a toughie. If I wanted to keep it 2, 0, I'd need a 2 crack and a 4 crack. And then I could call the 4 BMs and I could call the 4 dot. This is a risky hand because of the 2 singles here. But I could still keep track of that 2, 4, 6, 8 hand and still get rid of the soap. I know this is a lot, right? So I think that's what I'll end up doing. Maybe, who knows? We'll see what happens. I'm going to have to really, what I'm hoping is that somebody throws the 4 BM, because I could use that in both hands and not the 4 dot where I have to make a hard decision. Ugh. All right, here we go. See, there's 1, 2 crack out. Maybe somebody will call it if they're next. Yeah, oh, there's 1, 2 crack up there already too. So I don't think I'm going to be giving this up. I just don't think so. I think I have to get some jokers. All right, so Joe is playing north and south. Popular hand with a run of something. Okay, here we go. I'm going to call it. It's my rule of 4. I'm going to call it and hope for the best. My husband was laughing at that. Oh, gee. All right, well, I will take, let me see how many flowers are out. Okay, if nobody takes it before, oh no, Agatha discarded it. I'm next. I'm going to take it and I'll use that joker regardless because I don't want anybody else to get it. That's the reason you want to take it, even if you wouldn't need it. So ignore. Oh, look at that. Unbelievable. All right, Joe, Agatha, may I have your joker, please? All righty. Although if I put up a flower, they put a flower up, I'm going to put a joker up, but still. If I were to switch, I would need it. Let's see. 2, 4, 4, 6. If there's anything else I could pull off here. 2, 0. I just wish I had another 2. I wish I had had that 2, 0, 2, 4 because that line number 2 and line number 3 in 2024 is really nice, but I don't have, and there's two cracks now. So again, I think I just got to play the course right now. If I did get other 4s, I could go to like numbers, line 1. Are there 4s out? No. I could do a switch up. Okay. Yeah, I could do line 1, any like numbers. Easy. Who's playing with 4 cracks? Oh, there's a 4 dot. Wow. Let me think about this for a second. Nope, because now I got to get another one of those as well. There's still another one out. Agatha discarded that. I wonder if somebody else will call it. But I don't want to put this over here. I'm so afraid I'm going to end up discarding it. I'm going to ignore it right now, but that like numbers would be a good backup. All right, give me a good pick. Come on, please. Ooh, that makes it nice. Okay. All right, so I can call the flower, I can call the 4, I can call the 6, and I have the 2, 4. So I am at this point pretty content. And since I don't see any 2 BAMs out with 37 tiles left, we're going to be going into, no, there's 1 2 BAM, 2 BAMs, never mind. I take that back. I am blind sometimes. There's 2 soaps, 4 dot is, I've got the 2. What about the 4 dot? That is 1 is out. Okay. So I am actually, we're good here. We're good here. Hopefully the 6 cracks not like the last tile in the wall, but I'll do the 4 dot. 4 times 6 equals 24. Where are my tiles? Please tell me. And 1 green went out earlier. Okay, that helps. Okay, so now I'll call it. 2 are out. That's really nice. Nobody can grab a joker. And then I will be set for either a 4 BAM, a flower, or a joker. Oh, good. Phew, safe tile. That's a safe tile. Whew. All right, so let's see. Flowers with sixes. Wouldn't that be funny if she's playing line 4 as well, under 2, 4, 6, 8? What else could she be playing? Like numbers. Just give me a second to look at the board with the sixes that are out. Oh, there's so many sixes out. Maybe she's playing 6 times 8. Maybe she's playing, let's see. What else? Huh. Not a lot of choices here for her. Him, her. 6 plus 1 equals 7. Addition hand line number 1. I don't see any 1 dots, and I see only 1 7 dot. Ooh, nope, 2 7 dots, but it's nope, 3 7 dots and a 1 dot here. Sometimes I don't see them. They're lined up so pretty. Okay, hopefully nobody needs this, but only 1 east, west. Let's see, 2 west, nope. 16 tiles left. All right, it wasn't with the 1 dot though. Look at that. That's what my guess was, playing the same hand. She beat me to it. But I had a good chance. Let's see what was remaining here. Look where the flower is, way down there. Now, who had the, wait a minute. Who had, oh, she had my 4 in her singles right there. Amazing. We were playing the same hand, different suit combinations. And then Joe was playing the 1s and 2s, that 3rd line under Winds and Dragons, line 3. And then 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, line 1. Wow. Yeah. All right. Well, we came close, had a lot of options, even a little bit of ability to switch out if we needed to into the like numbers. Let's start again. 2 jokers to start. And I finally have a couple of pairs. I like to work off of my pairs or pungs. And I see right away that I have 2 dot, 3 dot, 4 bam, 5 bam. When you know the card, you'll be able to see those hands right away and know what you need to keep. Okay. Also, possibility of, I wouldn't need this, but if I got 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, that's the Quinta Flowers, 6 stand down consecutive run. It's a possibility. You never know. Like I said, I like to keep my options open. What else could I do here? 2, 3. What else can I keep an eye on? 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3. There's another combination there with the 2 suits. Don't know if the flower will come into play in this hand, but I don't like to throw them out. I don't like to get rid of them until I am 100% sure I am not going to need it. So right now, I would opt to do this right there. Unless I want to keep this and force a quint hand like that. Of course, again, I don't need the flower, but I could do that. Wouldn't that be fun? That'd be fun to make. I don't know. Maybe I will. But I don't like to pass flowers. Flowers are a great gift. Maybe I'll do keep the 2, 3. Where is that other hand? Oh, 2, 3, 4, 5. And do this. I like to be risky sometimes. Babe, I think someone came in the wedding the wedding room, the waiting room. Oh my God, I'm on vacation too long. All right, so 2, 3, imaginary 4, 5. If it helps, you could even do this. Is really forming very nicely. I let my tiles take me to where they take me on the card, right? It just so happened that I started out with being able to look at and see a run in 2 suits. But as I've been trying to do, stay flexible with something else. And the only other thing I could see would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 with that 7th hand, 6th hand down with the quint. It's a possibility, but very remote one. And I didn't get any more wins, so I think I'm going to stick with that. It's easy hand, pungs, 2 pungs, 2 kongs are the easiest configuration on the card. Why not? Okay, nothing that I would really want to keep here unless I keep the red. My thinking is the hand that goes 2, 3, 4, 5, line 2 under consecutive run. That gives me one more option. One more option. Why not? I'm on my first left, so I can keep my 2, 3, dot 4, 5 bam open. Let's do a first left with 2 to see if anything comes in that helps me out here. No, not really, but I'm going to continue because I don't want to give up looking at 12 more tiles. So I am going to continue with these here. And you never know, maybe I'll get a 1 dot. Maybe I'll be able to do 1 through 5. The first line could be a possibility. No, I can't do that if I'm continuing. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, no, it could be. I could save that and pass that. All right, 2, 3 dot, 4, 5 bam. Keep the 5. Maybe I'll pick up a 1 dot or something. I don't know, but continue for sure. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Oh my God. West. Okay. West over here stopped it. And I'm doing a courtesy with Joe. So I am okay passing tiles to Joe because he didn't stop it. If West was across from me, I would not be passing any tiles with someone who stopped it because that should be an indication that they've got a great hand. So, well, look what I got, a 6 there. Okay, so now I have a 5 bam, and I could call it right now. If I do, I'm now giving up my joker right away, and this is weak, and I can't flip into anything else. I did get the 1 dot, and I do have the 5 dot right now. So I even have a little bit of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I call that 5, I'm locking myself in right now. So I say ignore. Hard thing as a beginner to do, but so let's see. All right, there goes a 1 dot. Again, I'm weak. I can't call that. So sometimes things just happen. 8 crack. Interesting. Well, I don't need those 8 cracks. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I don't need them. And I don't think I need this either. So I'm going to keep that pair anyway, because you never know if somebody's playing with them. If I discard it, maybe I could get a little joker bait, but let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, do I want to keep that 3, 4, 5, 6 and see? Oh my God, I got so many things to keep track of here. I guess I'll get rid of the 8. I know I gave a 6 up and got it back, so. All right, I'm not keeping that. Again, too early. I can't commit. I mean, I love these tiles. I wish they were coming into my hand rather than being put out. Mm-mm. Don't need it. Okay, Agatha's got a call there. Wow, I need a lot of help. That's the imaginary 4 BAM, and I can't call it because I would need 4 of them anyway. In this case, if I had another 4 BAM, I would commit because I only need one more good pick for the 5, and I could call the 2 and 3, but I don't have it. Bummer. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Nope, don't need it. Oh, that helps a little. Okay. Now I have to really take a look and see what I'm doing, don't I? Let's wait till we get something that comes in. And this is something I'm concerned about since there are none out. So I might have to get rid of that. Okay, so 6 BAM. All right, so let's take a look. If we did 3, 4, 5, 6, I'd have to use that for the 6. There's 1 6 BAM out. I could use this for the 5, and I could then call the 2 and 3. So I would need 1 more 5 BAM, and there is 1 5 out. So if I did this, I need 1 more good pick. Get this out of the way. If I do 2, 3, imaginary 4, 5, I'm actually in a weaker position than calling the 6 because I would need 2 good picks to call the 4 BAM. So I am actually thinking somebody's probably playing 4 dots, but I am thinking that I might want to call that. I am thinking I might want to call it. So it would be 3 dot, 4 dot, 3 dot, 4 dots. Putting up a lot of jokers though. Wow. Babe, somebody came in the waiting room. Did you hear it? Wow. I tend to want to say I'm going to hold off and wait. If I wait for the next 6 BAM, then, but it could be at the end of the wall. Phyllis, I'm going to put the whole burden on you. Give me a thumbs up if you want me to call it. Look at that. Oh, she hates when I do that. Thumbs up or hold off. Thumbs down. Oh, Phyllis, you're changing. Phyllis is changing her ways. I'm going to hold off. Okay, we don't need that. Got to get it out. It's not out. And the flower I will definitely get out soon. Oh, Carol on YouTube said no, 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 no. All right, I think I'm going to have to get that 1 out. All right, so now we have a 2. Of course, that doesn't change the rest of what is going to happen. And then I would have to commit to that 2. All right, what now? Thumbs down again and just hold off? Phyllis says yes now. Phyllis says yes, even though there is how many 4 BAMs out? Only 1 out. Phyllis says call it. I think maybe we need to call it. I think we do. It's not, it's still, I still have a weakness there because I'm missing, somebody's playing with those, maybe playing. All right, I'll call it. What the heck? Starting to get to that point where I need to do that. So I'm going to get that one dot out. There's one out, but I'll get that out. And then let me see, or do I want to get the 5 out? 5 is, no 5s are out. So that means I should really escalate that tile. So here we go. Nobody called it though. Oh, all right. Now I have these already, right? Most people would get rid of it right away, but I'm going to hold it and make it my last tile because chances are it's safer than any other tile because I've got all 4 of them. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it. 2, 3, 4, 5. What about the 6? How many 6s were there? 1 6. Okay, so both of these, 2 6s. Oh, that was way too early in the beginning game. Wow. 5 7 7 9 with the opposite dragon, second from the bottom on the right side of 1 3 5 7 9. Wow. And Joe was playing 2 4 6 8 line 4. 6 times 8 equals 48, still far from it. And Agatha was playing consecutive run line 2 and still far from it. So we were all pretty far from it. 3 3, yeah. Everybody was in about the same position except for Wes, who pulled it off. All right, here we go. Let's do it again. All righty. No jokers. Woohoo! But I have a multiple of 9s. So, well, what else could I do with 9s? Well, certainly like numbers. Yes, this time I will keep that east in case I get more, for sure. I got 1 flower. And the runs, consecutive runs, 7 8 9 is right there. Very nice. If I had other 7s or 8s, I'd keep them too for a mixed suit run. So things are kind of looking nice there. I know I don't want this. Doesn't go with, these odds, any like numbers, the runs don't really work out there too well. I'm going to mix this up and do this. Let's see what else. I mean, I even like 3 6 9. It could be. So let's see what happens here. All right, I got an 8. So it's now falls into a little bit of the mixed suit run if we get 7. And I think I will do this. Oh, wait a minute. If I'm going to keep like numbers, I can't do that. So I'm going to keep this with the 9s. Can't get rid of that. And I got to pass 3. So it's going to be those 3. Simple. Now I got this. So now I have 7, 8, 9. That would be the 3rd line on the left side of consecutive run. I am not going to be able to keep everything, but I could still keep my north and east, and I still can do this. Kind of a pretty pass right there. But I want to be able to build my hand, so I have to do it. Nothing much. I mean, even singles and pairs, there's not a whole lot that I would even come in here. So we'll continue. And I'll do this. Hopefully we'll get in those. Oh, sorry. I keep doing that. We'll do, oh, let's see. Because that is kind of pretty right there, isn't it? It's risky. I need two singles here, a west and a flower. If I keep 7, 8, 9, I only need one flower and I can use jokers for everything else. So I can still go, but what I'll do is I'll get rid of the 9 and keep the singles. Because I definitely think this is an easier hand to make. Got to go with the one that makes most sense. Interesting, huh? Look at that. Whew. Mm. Randy, did you ask me a question? For what? I'm either looking at like numbers with the northeast, west, south. But if I do like numbers, I have to depend on a west, whether I do it with this or this. I have to depend on a flower, a pair, and a single. If I do 7, 8, 9 run with the flowers, I only need one flower to cover that. And that makes the most sense. I possibly could get back a 9 toward the end when, like when I don't have to pass 3. But in all honesty, this makes most sense. And I'll hold those because you never know. I could get 9s and I could get jokers and we'll see. But that makes the most sense right there. So nada, nada. So let's do this. And I got a 9. So there I have the ability to keep that 9 now. And I'll do, and I have this, and I'll do 1. So now I have 2 options. Any like numbers, line number 3 with the news, or 7, 8, 9. And I'm just going to pass 1, which in person play, nobody would take my 1. Well, sometimes people do that don't know that they shouldn't. But I'll do 1 because computer won't refuse it. All right, 1 tile. Wouldn't it be nice if I got back another 9? So I had to, oh my God. Look at that. Now I got to put it in that order because that's the better hand. So look at that. I just need a joker. A flower, I could call it if I can call my tiles, but okay. Ooh, early call. 2 flowers out the door. Okay, I'm just gonna keep an eye on what's going out and get out fresh tiles. So give me a joker, please. And I got a pair here, so I'll do those last. Wow, look at that. Yep. All right, 3rd flower. Ooh, Wes, may I have your joker, please? He was so kind to give me his joker. All right, I know 7 dot 8 crack. Neither of them are out. If I'm seeing it, I'm usually blind. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No uh-oh for me. Flower. Now none will go out. Now none will go out. Nobody knows what I'm playing. This is the beauty of being able to be concealed like this and set for Mahjong because nobody knows I'm waiting on a flower, but there are 4 out Watch, nobody's going to throw one now. And I will not call that. It doesn't make any sense. Although, you know, I could be gutsy and call it and then discard a joker and try to go jokerless. But no, I'm not going. I'm going to take a Mahj any way I could get it. And there we go.
Oh, look at that.
Yep. Yep. So it came in nicely.
That's lucky.
But I hope you guys understand when I look at two different hands and I talk about which one makes more sense than the other. If you need to cover a single and a pair, and another hand only needs one of those, you know, one pair or one single. I mean, you want to go with the one that makes the most sense, that is easier to make when you're choosing. And if something fills in like this did, I mean, how lucky did that get at the end? That's another reason why you got to continue the Charleston. I got that 9 crack and I exchanged one tile. And that's the reason why if Joe were a person, he should have refused to do an exchange with me. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Carol. All right, so let's see. Wes was playing consecutive run line 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, the 2 suit run. And Joe was playing 3, 4, 5, consecutive run line 7 on the left side, 1 suit far, far away. And Agata was playing 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, line 6 with the opposite dragons on the left side of that line. Very nice. Okay. I have to keep track since I'm in the wrong time zone. What time is it? 8 o'clock by you guys?
Yes.
Okay, good. So the half an hour. Okay. Because it's so weird when I'm looking. I could be playing till 9. You'll be like thinking, why is she still playing at 9 o'clock? Because I'm crazy. All right. Sort by suit, which is what I like to do. And my pairs of flowers and 6s are up here very neatly. And I just start again, thinking of the categories because I know them. I know it's not 2024. It could be 2468. Possibly. I have no jokers. I try to keep an eye on singles and pairs. If I see something happening that's really great, then I'll certainly point it out and go for it. But that last hand I did not. Then I can look at any like numbers since I have the 6 already. 1 plus 6 equals 7. I have a 7, so keep that if I want. For addition hand, line number 1, who knows? Consecutive runs would be very nice with keeping the 6s and 7s and even the 9. If I were going to keep all of that. And I could think of 3, 6, 9, and I could think of 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. I've got so many things here. What I would like to do is, since I have the multiple of 6s, is maybe keep the 3, 6, 9 open. And I love that category, I have to tell you. I'll keep the 7 because I do have a 6, 7, 8, 1 suit run. Oh my God, I have so many things going on here. It's not even funny. Let's see. I think I'm going to keep that 3, 6, 9 as an option. Okay. I don't expect you to remember everything right now that I'm keeping track of. As things come in the Charleston and we narrow it down a little bit more, it'll be easier. But this is my choice. It is a nice pass, but again, I want to build my hand. All right, so I got a 2. Let's see. I'm looking at singles and pairs. That's what I'm looking at right there. Keeping all of this. And since I got that 2, I don't know if it's going to be singles and pairs. I think I'll ditch that whole other idea of 369, but I'll keep an eye on any like numbers still. And I think I am now going to be in that any like numbers or 2, 4, 6, 8, or maybe singles and pairs. We'll see. Okay, that got me one tile closer using either dots. I mean, I don't know what will come in, but if I have tiles to pass, I'll pass them. And maybe I'll be able to do singles and pairs line 1. No jokers. Why not keep it in mind? I can fall into 2, 4, 6, 8 easily from that hand if I get, or any like numbers for that matter. So nothing here. I'm not going to change gears right now. Again, I'm going to stay steady right now with what I'm playing. I am not getting anything else in. I got a nothing in the beginning, but here's an 8. Okay. So I have nice possibilities with the 2, 4, 6, 8 singles and pairs, but yes, I'm missing a lot of stuff. So I certainly cannot only consider that. So I'll do those 2. I have like numbers with 8s are stronger than the others were right now. So that's kind of nice. I got another 8. So any like numbers looks pretty decent. I got, let's see, for line 1 of any like numbers, I've got all that. And I have 1 discard. Huh, I don't have to make any decisions yet. Yay, love it. All right, here we go. This is more like the hands I usually get, challenging my brain. Mm, 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 mm. So if I wanted to keep track of the singles and pairs, it would be, I could get rid of the 6 right now. And I even have a possibility of flowers, 2, 4, 6, 8 in 1 suit. I have a lot of good options here. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the 1, 6. Although, yeah, and still, although if I were going to play any singles and pairs, I don't think that's going to happen right now. My feeling is, but I don't think I need the 6. So let me just make sure. Let me look really quick. 6 times 8 equals 48. Do I want to even think about that? 6 times 8 equals 48. Six times 8 equals 48. It's so weak right now. But what? It is tough. It is. But last time I made it, and it was crazy. But I'm going to keep all the 8s. I'm just trying to figure out whether I need to keep the 6 dot, unless I want to keep that singles and pairs open. And if I do, obviously I'm not going to need this. I'm not going to need that. And if I play it, I need this. Right there. That would be all. This is all of that's my best option right now for singles and pairs right there. So I can't get rid of the 8. I mean, it would be fun to see if it comes in, and that means I can't keep track of more than like numbers. I can't keep track of the 6 times 8 equals 48. So I'm going to get rid of the 6 bam at this point, I believe, and keep everything else. 2, 4, 6, 8. All right. If you think I'm confused, I'm admitting it. Maybe this one first. 2, 4, 6, 8. And I'll keep this. Oh, wow. This is a little nuts. All right. I hope I'm not making a boo-boo. Carol said 4 is a gap for the 48. You better believe it. It's a single gap. All right. So I'm going to do this. I guess I'm going to, no, I wanted to keep track of the singles and pairs. I'm going to do the 6 BAMs. There's a 4 crack I would need for that portion of singles and pairs. All right. That takes me a little bit more away from that singles and pairs. But look at that. So I can keep track of like numbers, forget the singles and pairs pretty much, even though it would be beautiful to go for. But now that I have the joker, like numbers with 8s and flower 2, 4, 6, 8 in the cracks, second hand from the bottom. And I do have 2 singles in there to worry about. So it's only an option to think about it. So I think I'm going to just go ahead and see what happens. There's one of those 6 cracks that I would need. So, and there's a 4 out too. So that's going to diminish as those go out. And even the bottom concealed hand, 2, 4, 6, 8, 8, but I have an extra 8 there. Even that one's a possibility. No. All right. Okay, that's nice. So question is, would be ridiculous to do it, I think. But if I wanted to do that bottom concealed hand, this is the hand and these 8s would go. I would need the 4 crack or be ready and set to Mahj. I am, and an 8 BAM. Right, right. My husband's talking in the background too. So that's risky. Now, if I go with the any like numbers, I can call the 8 crack. I can call the 8 dot. I can call the 8 BAM with the joker and hope I get one more joker. So this is the safest hand right here. That's the way I got to go. Now, what do I want to keep as a backup? How about line 1, 2, 4? No, even what about line 1? Oh, that's no flowers. Okay, let's look at line 1. I can call the 2 crack. I can call the 6 with the, how many 6s went out? 4 crack went out. 1 6 crack went out. All right. So this hand is equally, it probably in an equal position as the 8, except maybe the 8 is a little better because 1 6 has gone out already. 2 4 6 8 line 1. I don't know. I think the like numbers Now, guess what? If I don't keep track of the bottom concealed hand, I can't do that. I have to make a decision. It's got to be like numbers. Line 1. I'm sorry, it's the safest one. 2 pungs. Well, so is line 1 of 2, 4, 6, 8, but we've got 8 flowers in the deck, and I'm worried about the fact that one of those 6s already went out. So anyway, this is what I'm doing. Oh, okay. Here's what I'll do. I'll get rid of the 2 instead of anything else, because my thinking is that's a pung. If I did somehow something changed, although if anything changes, it's probably going to put me in the same freaking position. So I'll do this anyway. Okay. All right. I'm committed to that right now. All right. Don't need that. All right. That makes me feel a little bit better. All right. So now we're pretty well thinking 2, 4, 6, 8, no matter what. I'll get rid of my 2 or my 4. And I think, didn't we say they both went out, or just the 2? They both went out. So why you get them out early. All right, I'm going to call that for a Kong. See, somebody threw the 2 dot. I would have held on to it unless whoever discarded it, which I think it was Joe discarded. It had to be, I don't know. I think it was Agatha. But anyway, I would have held it because to me that would have been a safer tile. But maybe he has no discards. Oh, nice. Oh, I don't need, yes, I do need it. I forgot that's 4 there. Don't get messed up, Deb. All right, I'm going to call that for a pung. And now I need a flower or a joker. I wish somebody would take my 8 bam, then I'll be jokerless. There we go.
Wow.
All right.
Yep.
Oh, I just knocked over my tablet. Okay, there we go. All righty. Woo, got what time for one more. One more. And here we go. Let's look at Joe. Joe did 1, 2, dragon 3, 4. That's that second consecutive line, number 2. And West had 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, line 5. Pretty weak there. And 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, line 2 for Agatha. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, line 2 with the 5, 7, 7, 9. Oh my God, she was on call. Wow. And so you see, if your tiles come in, I only had 1 joker, right? My tiles came in. So jokers definitely help, but sometimes you get lucky even with your tiles coming in. So, all right, here we go again. What fun can we have now? I got 2 jokers. Yay! All right. And I have 2 east. And I have a pair of 1s. I could definitely keep track of quint line 2. I'm not committing to it, but I could keep track of it. Like numbers with 1s. And I don't have flowers, so I would definitely keep the dragons for the second line in any like numbers. Right. And what else could I keep track of? Maybe I think in terms of one, a run with the ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll keep those. And I could think of 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, but I like all of that I've got going on. So I do need, I can't have matching numbers if I'm going to keep an eye on quints. So it can't be the ones. It's got to be something else. So I'm going to keep the 3 and 4. I think I'm happy with this. Okay. Oh, now I have 3s. So now that quint hand, although it's weak, line 2 looks like that. And I could still keep a backup, 1 bam, 2 bam, 3 dot, 4 dot. I know I don't have 2 bams, but they're there in my head. Oh, shoot. I didn't even see that. 1, 2, I have it here. God, sometimes I can't say I'm blonde because I'm more gray than I am blonde now. 1, 2, 3, 4 is the hand with this quint hand that I'll keep in mind. So I can do this and I still can keep hope for that quint hand. And now I have this, and now I have this. Wow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, so I do not pass pairs. So, I mean, I'm not passing those east. So I have to do 2 and take advantage of my blind pass. Here we go. And I will continue, even though that person, Agata, my friend, may keep that east. Hopefully she'll pass it on and nobody will end up with 2 east. But I am going to continue the Charleston. And I am not going to consider anything else but that 1, 2, 3, 4 right now, because I am so well set for it. It doesn't make sense to do anything else. Look at this. I don't need that. 1, 2, 3. Backup. 1, 2, 3 with flowers, but really, I don't have the flowers, right? So it doesn't make sense. I want to, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to do this. Maybe I'll get one more tile in. So the quint hand went bye-bye pretty quickly, but that's okay because this is very nice. And we'll do 3. Somebody kept those wins. Yep, look at this. I mean, unbelievable. Yep, another 2. Wow. Thank you, Carol. I appreciate those kind words. Ignore. Okay, all of these tiles will just go. I really only need one more good pick to be set on calling the 3 and the 4. Look at that. Amazing. This is the type of hand where if somebody else mahjongs you really like, are like, what? Oh my God. Okay, I can mahjong on a 3 dot, a 4 dot, or a joker. You can't get any better set. Paul, I knew it. I could have predicted that one. And guess who helped Agata out there? Thank me, Agata. I know, I know. It's like you wait sometimes forever to get your tiles. They go out when you don't want them to, and they don't go out when you want them to. It's amazing. All right. I'll just wait here all day. Ah, I knew that. I knew they're all kept, all those wins. Mm-hmm. All right. Nines, eights and nines. East, west, 8 and 9. Line number 3 on the right side.
Come
All
on,
right, there we go.
Joker. All right.
I better stop on a good note. That was a quick game. That was a quick game. I think I'm not gonna push my luck here tonight. I think I had 4 wins tonight. So I think we'll call it a night here. And let's see what Joe was playing, north south with the 6, 7, and east west with the 8, 9s for Agata. Boy, that hand is popular. And Wes was playing consecutive run line 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 with the Quinta flowers. I like that hand. It's not easy. Let me just check. I didn't see my, oh, Phyllis, I didn't check my chats too well on tonight. But I see you said great night. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Oh my God. All right. Well, that is it for tonight, everybody. Thank you, everybody who joined in. Let me stop sharing my screen. I hope you all had fun. Thank you, everybody who's watching from YouTube and who joined me on Zoom. Guys, have a good time, I hope. And I'll see you until we meet again next Wednesday. Practice, practice, practice. Good night, everybody.